My dreidel, 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 I made it out of clay. My dreidel, 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 I made it out of clay. My dreidel, 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 I made it out of clay. My dreidel, 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 I made it out of clay. It is Friday, December 15th, 2023 AD. I will have a guest. That's the plan. Third Rail with Omar. We'll be back, is the plan. We're going to talk about the Israel-Palestine war drama and, you know, maybe a little bit of manhood stuff and taking sides and stuff like that. He's the New York guy. Yeah, he's the Yemeni Muslim guy. Pro-America, pro-white, thinks whites should remain a majority in our country. That's nice. But he is a liberal, a New York liberal. And I am wearing my Obvious Globe t-shirt, yeah. I'll take your calls, guys. Lots of calls all week. Appreciate that very kindly. Thank you. And your super chats. Some of them already have come in. So anyway, guys, it's the AJ Gallardo original theme song. Let's get right on with the show!
Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la.
Hey guys, I hope you're enjoying the AJ Gallardo original theme song. I will be having a guest today. We'll take your calls and your super chats and have a fun loosey-goosey Friday show.
Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la.
So, how you guys doing? I am fine. I got my Obvious Globe t-shirt on. This one is the Gildan Comfort Tee or something like that. It's thicker material. It's, you know, the sleeves stick out a little bit. I'm not a fan of that look, but, you know, at least it's not too tight like some of these t-shirts. Some of them, the size is not consistent. Isn't it so obvious? It's so obvious. But shout out to the Flat Earthers. We are Flat Earther friendly. We are also commie friendly, even though they are evil. And we are all evil, right? And of course, we are liberal friendly, and I'm going to have the liberal Omar of Third Rail with Omar with me. And I will get to your calls as well, guys. So you can get this. This is available for not in children's sizes at this point, not in children's sizes. I did see a super chat about that. I will read it. Unfortunately, just buy the small or small for women's or something like. No, you don't want to get a woman's t-shirt for a child. You go to thehakereport.com or teespring.com/stores/thehakereport. All right. I want to get right started with my guest here, Third Rail with Omar. Are you there, Omar? Can you hear me? Okay. We'll have to see about fixing that. You're zoomed in. Are you able to zoom out a little bit here? It's Third Rail with Omar. Third_rail is his YouTube tag. That's looking better. Appreciate that, man. Thank you. He's a New Yorker, Yemeni American, came here at the tender age of like 6 or 8 years old or something like that. 7 years old. I was close. And a New York liberal, pro-America. He loves the white people. You love white people, right? Nice. And go ahead, go ahead. Oh, yeah. Oh, thank you, man. I've been getting as much sunshine as I can. You know, it's the winter months. Sleeping early if I can. Sometimes before 8 p.m. Because I get up around 4, plus or minus. And so, yeah, thank you. Appreciate that. Are you able to shift me over? I'm kind of off to this side, Hassan. Thank you, man. Yeah, I am. I appreciate that. I've been trying to eat well. No audio. Guest audio check. Can you unmute the guest? Oh, sorry, guys. Our bag. Sometimes this happens, guys. Complicated business. Omar, third rail with Omar. They didn't hear you. My viewers did not hear you.
I want to thank you. Let me do it again. I want to thank Hake for having me. Do you hear me, guys?
Press 1 if you hear him.
Chat room. How are you guys? I appreciate you for having me again here. And I look forward to having a nice conversation. What did they say, 100%? So it's the F100?
Nice.
Yep. Yeah, they hear me. Okay, good.
Sweet. Nice, man. Okay. Oh, man. Do you want to talk to a guest? I have a caller, Omar, before we dive into your topic.
Sure, no problem.
We're going to talk about Israel-Palestine stuff.
Of course, yeah.
But I want to talk with Keith in Illinois, who has a comment about the ADL in America. Yeah. ADL is Anti-Defamation League. They're sort of Jewish.
It used to be the American Zionists.
Yeah, but they hate some of the Christian Zionists even.
Okay, I'm gonna talk more. I have a lot of stuff on. In the 1990s, the FBI raided them. They spied over 600 entities and individuals in the United States.
The ADL?
Yeah, look it up. In the 1990s, look,
wow.
FBI raids ADL. It turned into an intelligence services. It's an anti-American APAC, ADL. These are anti-American organization who hate everybody, and they just like the J-boys. That's all. They want to be perfect. They want to be number one. That's all it is.
Wow.
Well, and I get nothing. Okay.
I have Keith in Illinois. Are you there? Can you hear me? Keith, come to your phone. Come off of mute. He's an old timer, not that old, 65-year-old black American man. Keith, can you hear me? Keith going once.
Yeah. Can you hear me, Jay?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
You're live with Omar, third rail with Omar. I don't know if you're familiar with him, but you wanted to talk about the ADL in America. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, I was just talking about that. Yeah, that's what I called in for.
Right on. Go ahead.
Well, I was noticing that the Anti-Defamation League, the ADL, haven't said anything about the presidents that run these universities that let this hate speech go on about the Jews.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they haven't said anything about the protest. You know what I mean? The CNN, all the liberal media haven't, said anything from the Anti-Defamation League, how, upset they are and how they're outraged about the protests. The presidents that run MIT and Harvard and all this, how they let these hate speech go on their campus. You haven't heard anything from the ADL, okay? I mean, hardly anything. The protests, all across the country. But as soon as Kyrie Irving just posted something, Negroes to Jews or whatever, and Kanye West said a little something, they got all over them, made all them apologize. Kanye West lost endorsements because the ADL, they was having protests against Kyrie Irving in Boston. And, all this overkill, okay, for these little bitty things that were mentioned, okay, these little things. But yet and still, with all this protest and anti-hate speech about the Jews on these campuses, I haven't heard anything from the ADL, how outraged they are. I'm trying to say the whole thing is a con. The news, the media is run by the government. The CIA is run, all of it ran by the Democrats.
Right.
All of it's a con because you can see that the ADL ain't you know what I'm saying? I don't seem outraged at all. But when it came to Kyrie Irving, he had to apologize, and all he was posted a book.
Kyrie Irving is the basketball player, right? And what did he say?
Yeah. All he did was posted a book that says, from Negroes to Hebrews, or Hebrews to Negroes.
Oh, okay.
That's all he did for the Anti-Defamation League. It was protesting. They had a fit. They was marching against him in New York.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They made him apologize. But these presidents that run these universities, these women, they haven't said nothing to them. They haven't made any news on these liberal channels. That's why I tell you, the liberal media has always been run by the government. Always, it had nothing to do with right and wrong and black and brown and Jew and nothing. It has nothing to do with nothing. They use all this to divide us all the time and to conquer us and to turn us eventually into some communist country because they don't care nothing about nobody. They just spend everything when they can promote propaganda that's going to benefit them in the long run. They don't care nothing about, well, we know they don't care nothing about Americans because, you know, I mentioned yesterday how they wanted the landlords to not charge people for rent, but yet still they giving illegal immigrants free rent and free money and free health care.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's all a big con game. The whole thing, the liberal media, the government, it's all a big con game. It's just a con game with these. They don't care nothing about nobody. You know what I'm saying? And they're totally divisive in every kind of way they can be. And they even called CNN, they even called Donald Trump anti-Semitic, and his grandchildren are Jewish.
I know, it's ridiculous. You're right. You're right.
All this con game.
I agree with you, man. They didn't go after the colleges because
Right.
I don't know if they went after the colleges or not, but according to you, they didn't. The colleges,
No.
I'm not too surprised because the colleges they cater to ADL type liberal communist policies. Kyrie Irving
but
is his own man.
That's what you assume. But why haven't the ADL came after these college presidents for allowing hate speech on their campuses?
Because I don't know, but I don't even support the notion of hate speech. I think that the ADL and the colleges should both be disbanded.
I agree with you 100%, 1,000%.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to show you the hypocrisy and the propaganda of the ADL, the liberals, the Democrat, and our government. It's all hypocrisy. I don't know why nobody believes anything they've ever said about anything. The wars have all been lies. The everything. They ain't never cared about black and brown. They put up Michael Brown and George Floyd and all these people to pretend to care, to keep us more divided. I mean, it's just all a big con, and they run the liberal media. They always have.
That's wild,
So,
man.
yeah.
You're Omar, are you a Democrat?
I'm a Democrat, but I hate Biden.
So you're not with these. You're not really with the colleges then, or are you college educated?
No. I'm going to give you an idea of what's going on. Can I?
Yeah.
Let me
please.
just give he talked about how the ADL was hard on the Kyrie Irving and Kanye West, right?
Right.
The
True.
ADL was born out of chaos with black people. The way it was created was a Jewish factory owner raped a white woman, a Gentile white woman, and tried to blame it on his black worker.
Oh.
After they did the investigation, they found out he was lying, and he was executed by a mob.
Wow.
This is just give you a long history of who they are.
Lynched?
The ADL is about. They executed him.
Oh, okay.
The Jewish guy, because when they did the investigation,
Was
the
it
black guy
lawfully
in there.
executed or?
I think
or
a mob
unlawfully?
did it. He was
Oh,
the
the mob
boy,
did it?
Yeah, they found out that he was the actual rapist, but he tried to blame it on his
A black.
factory worker. You understand?
Yeah.
So the ADL.
I've heard that story.
Yeah, the ADL is more of a mafia-style organization. Give us money and we'll let you go. If somebody says something
Yeah.
wrong on Twitter, somebody who's a basketball player, a movie star, whatever it is, if something comes out or he has some critic of Israel or anything, they come to him, donate $5 million to our organization, go to the Holocaust Museum for a couple of hours, and come back home and we let everything go away. You understand?
Yeah.
You
It's
saw
like
the ADL
you need
you saw-
insurance with they come in with a baseball bat. You
you
need
saw the
insurance.
At the start of the war, the ADL director was on Morning Joe, and he said, I like this station. I really like it, but who's writing the stuff? Hamas for you? It's like the mafia when they go into a restaurant. I like this restaurant. I hate to see you lose it here. I mean, what are you
Yeah.
guys doing? And they sideline all the Muslims anchors. Anyway, to go back to the college issue,
Yeah.
what they're doing right now is these three ladies, they just sacrifice
think so.
lambs. What they're trying to do is they're trying to run cover of what's going on in Israel, the genocide. So they're creating this hooray. Oh, anti-Semitism is on the rise. Oh, anti-Semitism on the rise. Look what happened. So they use these three ladies as just sacrifice to create this allure. There's a lot of anti-Semitism to take off the public eyes of the murderous and genocidal behavior of the Jewish state inside Gaza. That's all it is. It's all just fodder. They don't really care what's going on. You understand?
Yeah. Let me bring Keith back for any closing comments. Keith, are you aware of what's going on between Israel and Palestine? I'm not really aware of what's going on.
I'm very aware. I feel like that,
Is it true? Is it because
let me
is it
explain.
true
I
that
feel
it's
like-
genocide?
Well, it depends on. Anybody can spin that if they want to call it genocide. Israel had to defend itself.
Right,
Hamas
but are they going
let me
overboard?
explain this like this. I'm glad you asked me this.
Yeah.
Hamas is just like the Democrats. The Democrats use the black people. Check this out. Pretend to care, take
Right.
all the money and the resources from the black people. They use the black church like Hamas uses the Islam religion, right? The same thing. The Democrats sacrifice the black people for their own wealth and gain and power and popularity, the same way Hamas uses the Palestinians. It's the same thing.
Oh, so Hamas is not really. Hamas
Mm-hmm.
is not in favor of all the Palestinians, just the Palestinians who support them, which
Right,
is
the same
nature.
way the Democrats, same way the Democrats do the black. It's the same thing. Then they use the Christian religion, but they use it against what's really the Christian religion is used for. They twist it and they turn it so they can keep black people on the plantation, just like Hamas keep the Palestinians on the plantation.
Yeah, it's kind of like the ADL. The ADL.
Yeah,
it's kind of like the ADL tries to keep the Jews in a victim mindset.
That's the same thing. The Black Lives Matter, all these organizations, all of them use the same thing. They use the religion. They act like they care. They act like they pro-black. They act like they pro-Palestinian. They act like, but then they always create these enemies for them to have so they can get paid on both sides. It's the same kind of game used by every organization. They all do it.
I got you. That's a good point. That's a fair point.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that? You agree with that?
No,
Omar?
let him finish, and then we go into a conversation. Let him finish.
All right. Keith, I appreciate it, man. Is Israel going overboard? Do you know?
I don't feel like anybody's going overboard if they came in, because war is war. If you come in and you kill 1,400 of my people and you slaughter them and rape them and kill them, for me to go in and you sending rockets over and you bombing me, I don't understand. I have a right to go and attack you and use my weapons like you use your weapons, okay?
All right.
To defeat you in any way I can. And of course, there's going to be casualties of war, and of course, Hamas is going to spin that just like the Democrats went with the blacks. They're going to put people like they sacrifice. So it's going to always seem like that they're the villains, even though these same people are defending themselves against them. It's the same tactics that they've been using against Hamas and the Democrats have used against black people against to form this false narrative, so they can keep on getting money, so they can keep on sacrificing their own people because they don't care. And this thing, so they spin everything to make it seem like they're the savages when Hamas is the savages, and when Israel was just running their own business when they decided to do all this to them. So it's a con game all the way around.
Well, thank you, Keith. Appreciate you, man. It's good to hear from you. Have a nice weekend.
All right. Thanks a lot, buddy. Take care.
All right. Go ahead, Omar.
Right, well, you see, ignorance is a blessing in the United States. With the American public, they don't understand what's going on in the Middle East. They've been lied to for the last 75 years. They're starting to find out what's going on. To put the Palestinians as equal and to say that Israel has the right to defend itself, no, it doesn't. Under international law, the occupied has the right to resist. The occupied has no right to defend themselves because they are on the offensive. If I enter the Hake's house and I start robbing his house and we start the fight, you can't say Omar has a right to defend himself. I'm the guy who's robbing Hake. I'm inside his house. Israel is people got to understand, Israel is an occupying force. It's been killing Palestine every year, 1,200, 500, every 3 years they attack. And when he said it's not a genocide, when you kill 20,000 people and 10,000 children and 3,000 women, and you devastate a whole city, you don't allow water. You cut off the water supply. You cut off the food supply. You cut off medication. As a tool of war, you are committing a genocide against a 2.3 million who are being held hostage, and they are being murdered. Hospitals, 36 hospitals has been destroyed. 200 UN workers has been killed. 57 journalists have been murdered, targeted by Israel. Israel has the right to defend itself within its borders. let's say if it was inside Tel Aviv within its 1967 borders, then it has every right to defend itself. But when you are occupying the people and you have them under siege, especially Gaza, for the last 16 years, and you dictate how much water they get, how much calories they eat a day, or what goes in, what goes out, and you build a wall all around them with gates, and that's a jail. And these people have nothing to live for. They have no self-determination. They have no jobs. They can't go out. They can't go in. They have no economy because everything's in control from the outside. It's like me locking you in your house and saying, oh, well, Hake has everything to do. He's in his house. Look at him. But I control what Hake eats. If electricity goes to Hake's house, if water goes to his house, if he's able to go to the supermarket on his own, is it what food he's able to eat? Is Hake really in control of his house, really? I'm in control of Hake's life and what he eats. You understand what's going on over here?
I follow you. I follow what you're saying. But listen to this. Didn't Hamas make it worse for themselves? I mean, didn't Hamas make it worse for the Palestinians by doing that attack?
It's not worse because you understand what was going on.
That's worse.
I'm going to tell you what was going on.
18,000 killed is worse, or 20,000, or however many thousand is worse.
It's okay for liberation. It's okay.
Really? I don't know. I don't think that they're going to get liberation.
The Americans fought the British. They fought the monarchy. It was the greatest power on earth at that time, right?
Right.
Should we call George Washington a terrorist? Should we call all those people?
I'm not saying that. Whether or not they're terrorists or not, that's not my question. My question is Hamas
it's not worse. What's going on is Israel is using overwhelming force, green-lighted by this idiot Joe Biden, who the other day called himself a Zionist. What kind of president is that?
All the presidents are Zionists nowadays, right?
Did you know that right now there's a bridge between the United States and Israel of, what do you call those planes, the C-130s? Full of tanks, full of armored vehicles. 24 hours a day, they're landing in Israel to replenish the Israeli army. They're losing a lot of weaponries. And to compare the Palestinians to a Democratic Party, this is not he's
not comparing the Palestinians to the Democrats. He's comparing Hamas. Because a lot of the Palestinians don't like Hamas, right?
No. You see, this is a
lot of the Gazans, like they protested against Hamas. I remember seeing some video, I don't know if it's true, of Palestinians protesting against Hamas, and then some of them got killed by Hamas.
No, they had a dispute, a political dispute between Fatah, the other organization. Anyway, I'm not here to defend Hamas. According to the United States, Hamas is a terrorist organization. According to the British, but according to the world, it is a movement. It's a freedom movement. The whole idea was that what was going on before this happened was Israel was making peace with all the nations around Palestine without even negotiating with the Palestinian future. And then the Prime Minister Netanyahu went to the United Nations and he put up a map. There's no Palestinian state in it. So the Palestinians had to do something to reignite their cause. You know, listen, guys, we're here. We're in a jail. Nobody's telling us anything. Nobody's helping us. So do I condemn them killing those people if they were innocent people? Yes. Do I condemn them for killing soldiers? No, I don't think so. Did Israel overreact that day and kill most of its civilians? Yes. Because when you look at what happened there, even on
October 7th, you're talking about the October 7th
the advisor for Netanyahu indirectly admitted it on a program on MSNBC when he said, well, it was 1,400 people were killed, but after we did DNA testing, 200 of the burned bodies were of Hamas. Now, Hamas, would they burn themselves?
1,400 or 14,000? I thought it was...
This is Israeli.
1,400, huh?
Yeah. We thought they were 4,000, but we brought them down to 1,200. He asked them why. He said, well, we found through DNA, we found out the burned body, 200 of them were not, they were Hamas militant. Now, anybody with logic would ask the question, did Hamas burn their own men? Did they put themselves on fire? Did they 200 of their fighters? No. What happened, there was an overreaction of the Israeli military. The Israeli military is a coward. I told you that a long time ago. Their fighters are cowards. They only depend on air power and destroying cities. So when they came, they overreacted. They used Apache helicopters and Hellfire missile. They burned everybody, Hamas and their own citizen. If you look at the cars at that festival, they were all burned throughout the whole area. Now, Hamas does not have that kind of weapon to burn cars like that and burn areas. To that, you cannot tell what the body looks like. History will revisit that incident, and they will see that the Israeli army killed most of its civilians. Hamas' mission on that day was to take hostages. In order to take them back to Gaza and trade them for the 6,000 Palestinians who are being held by Israel, women and children. The whole idea is that the problem is the disease is the occupation. If you end the occupation, you get rid of Hamas, you get rid of everybody. You understand what's going on over there?
Now, you said that the Israelis are occupying the Israelis are occupying the Palestinian land, the West Bank and the Gaza Strip,
and East Jerusalem.
And why are they doing that? They're doing that partly because there's like fighting against.
Oh, there's
between
a Masonic. They have this Masonic belief that this land was given to them by Moses. They are settling lands that are under international law belongs to the Palestinians, like the West Bank. You have 700,000 settlers who comes from the United States.
Okay, huh? I don't know if I believe in international law because the international groups, they don't tend to be for justice. They try to accuse the international groups like the UN try to accuse the United States of genocide against blacks or violating the human rights of blacks. The UN tried to do that, so I don't necessarily believe in the international law stuff.
Blacks probably have some social issue, but they're full American citizens. They have every right we have.
What about this? Life. Americans came into this continent.
Israel.
Let me ask this question though. Okay, the Americans came into this continent and took it over. We bought some land. We conquered some of the American Indians and drove them out in some instances. There was right and wrong things
we
done
killed
there.
Most of the Trial of Tears. We actually did genocide on them.
But let me ask this question: would the American Indians be right to attack America because we're on supposedly their land?
Okay, at that time they did have the right. Then they did attack and they lost, right?
Yeah.
But you have to understand, we came to a continent that was half empty. You had people running around naked, no buildings, no cars.
I know.
They had no society. When you talk about Palestine, Palestine is a country that's been there for 400 years. They had the metropolis. Christians and Jews were living peacefully. You had the biggest tragedy of the Palestinian is the loss of the Christian Palestinian minority. There's no more. They left because nobody's supporting them. Before you say you hate international law.
Yeah.
Israel was created by international law in 1948 by the United Nations. They said, well, listen, we're going to give the Jews 56% of the land, but they only owned 10% real property.
Yeah.
And that's how it started. Now, 56% was given to Israel, and I think 44% was given to the Palestinians in 1948. Imagine somebody came to your house and said, we're going to give Omar 56% of your house, whether you like it or not. Me, I said, no, fuck that. Excuse me. Oh, sorry.
Sorry,
no,
kids.
wait, that's not going to happen. And I stopped fighting with Hake, get him out of my house. Now, the whole idea is now the Palestinians are only fighting for 22% of what was their land. And the Israelis still won't give them that. Now, the Jews...
What is this? I hear that Israel has given up some land, though. Because is that true? Is there any truth to that? Because I've heard both things. I've heard that they're settling, but they're also have given up a lot of
stuff. What they're doing is they got out of Gaza because they could not settle it. Because at that time, there was 1.5 million Palestinians, and there's only 8,000 settlers. It was impossible for them to overcome that number.
Okay.
But they didn't really leave. What they left was they got out of the house.
So they let them have it, and then now
but they encircled the house with gates. Now and they control everything: the air, the sea, the ports. Like I said, Hake, I'm getting out of your house, but I'm gonna build this wall around your house. You eat what I tell you to eat. You drink what I tell you to drink. I could leave you without water. I could do whatever I want. You have no right to leave the house to go to the supermarket. You got no rights. Anything. People die of cancer and diseases because they can't get the permit to leave the Gaza Strip to go get health care in other countries. Yeah, this is before this happened.
You may be right about this. You mentioned the international law created Israel. It probably went about it in the wrong way, but now we have to deal with reality as it is.
we're paying for the price that the Jews were murdered in the Holocaust. If the crime happened in Germany, why are we paying it in the Middle East? Why don't you give them why don't you give them a province in Germany since you guys did all the murdering?
I think they have a significant foothold in a lot of these countries.
No, they get a lot of money. You see, when you go to Israel, all the cars are Mercedes made. They get them free. All the taxis, everything, they get them. They still paying the Germans. I feel sorry for them, and they have this guilty conscience.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Understand?
They should not have that.
They want to people demonstrate. Oh, you can't demonstrate here because we did something 70 years ago. We feel guilty.
Yeah.
You can't demonstrate against them. What I'm saying is that let me tell you what. Let me go back to the issue here. Israel has a dilemma. From the river to the sea, you have 7 million Jews, right? And from the river to the sea, you have 7 million Palestinians. God made it 50-50.
Really?
Yes. So
I thought that the Palestinians outnumbered them.
No, but they are going to outnumber them.
Yeah.
You can't. But this is just an estimate.
Oh, okay.
Now let me. Israel has a dilemma. If it takes over the land, they have to give them democratic rights. Then the Jewish majority is diluted, right?
Yep.
And
not good. Diversity is not good.
Yeah, and if you give them a two-state solution, they still want the land. So they have to use apartheid, like what they did in South Africa. They have to deny these people the right to vote, the same civil right that Jewish citizens will have in Israel. So Israel has this quandary. What it's going to do? It's a suicide mission because it cannot absorb the 7 million people because it doesn't want to, and it can't get rid of them. That's why everybody's saying they are trying to ethnically cleanse the 2 million to the Sinai Desert in Egypt. Because what they do, they destroy
meaning drive them into the desert and then kill the ones
as
who
refugees, and lock the door. Say, it's not our problem no more.
That's why you call it
Egypt now.
genocide. Is just move them out and.
No, genocide is the deliberate murder of a population. That's what they're doing right now. When you destroy hospitals and schools and water supplies and
but what else isn't it true that Hamas is setting up in those areas or no?
Hamas is a Palestinian freedom fighters. They have every right to be there.
I know, but they're setting up at the hospitals. I'm saying, or no?
There's no proof. There's no proof.
There's no proof either way. Nobody knows.
They was joking every time they said the guy, "Hey, this is a board." And it was and we could read Arabic. It was a calendar. You understand?
I saw that.
The Israelis don't know how to lie no more. They
said it was a list of something, and it was just a list of patients or something like that.
No, the calendar. It was an Arabic calendar in Arabic. It has nothing on it. It's like people not going to read. You think people are idiots. Like even you got Google Translate. American people are not dumb no more. If you go to TikTok.
I think we're still dumb.
No, the American people have waken up to the Zionist overlords of the United States government.
Maybe so, but I think that they still have anger, and so this is not a bright awakening. This is a dark awakening into more evil.
It's slowly because we gotta first. For me personally, for Palestine to gain its independence, we have to free the occupation of the White House and the United States Congress from the Zionist lobbies and the Israeli lobbies in Washington. Right now, the United States government, civilian government, is under occupation, like Patrick Buchanan said that about 30 or 40 years ago, who was a conservative white American.
Spoiler alert in the chat says that Egypt doesn't want the Gazan refugees because it sets things up for Israel to attack Egypt in the future. Same with other surrounding countries. They don't trust these Palestinians.
No. What's going to happen is Israel doesn't want to accept them because if they accept them, they're going to play in Egypt. They're going to play into Israel's hand of getting rid of the Palestinians from their land.
That too.
Once they don't want to take them because if they take them, they're not going to let them come back.
Right.
First of all, this is one thing.
Nobody wants these refugees.
No, it's not in the interest of the Palestinian people to take them any place. I don't even want America to take them because that's the whole idea. They're trying to get rid of them out of the land. They're trying to get rid of human beings. And he's right. The problem is, let's say the people ran into the desert and they lived in there. Eventually, they're going to start fighting with Israel again, shooting at the Israelis from the Sinai.
Yeah.
Egypt's going to have to get involved to stop it. Then what Israel did smart is they're going to turn the Egyptian against the Palestinians. They fight while they watch. Because Israel's going to have to attack back, and in attacking the Sinai, that's the sovereign state of Egypt, and Egypt has to respond. You understand? It is a dangerous game. What's going on over there?
Yeah, it's crazy.
I hate when people say we should take refugees into the United States. Don't take anybody. This is not the time to take refugees. Not because I hate the Palestinians. I love the Palestinian people because I'm an Arab and they are Arab like me, and I feel for them. And sometimes I cry when I see their children under dead. But the whole idea for you to take them as refugees is to play into the hands of the Zionist mission of depleting the land of Palestine out of its native population.
I want to get to a call here, another call here, Omar.
Let me explain to you one thing, for sure.
All right.
Can I say one thing first?
Go ahead.
Remember when I spoke to you last, I told you the Israeli soldier is a coward by nature. He doesn't fight. Look at him right now, face to face.
That's human beings in general nowadays.
No, not American forces and other. These guys are wearing Pampers. Look it up. They make them.
I know. I saw your DM.
Yeah, they're wearing Pampers and things like that because they are not used to fighting face to face. The old war, 6-day wars with Egypt, it was dependent on Americans' Air Force because nobody knew. Right now, they are destroying everything, all the civilian infrastructure. But when they're fighting these group of Hamas who have homemade weapons, they don't have real weapons or whatever they could get out of the black market.
Is it true they're funded by Iran? Hamas?
Yeah, yes.
So that's not just homemade. That's Iranian stuff, right? No?
No, the money, but it's hard to get weapons into a place where you're encircled. So some of those weapons, they have these RPGs. These are not real weapons of war. You are fighting America's machinery, the best of weapons, the best tanks, the best F-35. There's a law. I'm going to send it to you when I get it. There's a law in the United States that Israel has the first right to every weapon made new in the United States. This is crazy. You understand? You are fighting. And I'm going to tell you, the Palestinians are going to prevail. They're going to bleed them to death. The Israelis are a small country. If the war lasts 6 months, it's over for Israel, and Israel will humbly withdraw, and they're going to start a real peace process. You have to destroy them. You have to show them that they have a lot to lose, and by going to peace, they have a lot to gain. The whole idea is we want peace, but we want a Palestinian state living side by side with Israel. One-state solution under democracy. They're not going to do that.
No, I don't believe in the democracy crap.
They're making babies like crazy. You understand?
Yeah.
They kill 200. The women give birth 400 a night. I think they give birth twice a year. The Palestinian women, they give twice a year birth.
Wow.
One time.
All right, let me get to my call. Austin in North Carolina wants to talk with Omar. Austin, you're live with Third Rail with Omar on Israel versus Hamas. Go ahead.
Hey, Omar.
What's up, my brother? How are you?
Hey, I'm all right. Did you say that the Israelis started the killing by cutting the water supply for the Hamas people?
Yeah, well, yeah. What they did is before
I don't think
the war,
he said that they started the fighting, but he said that they're occupying and.
What was the question? Say that again. What's the question?
He asked if you're saying that the Israelis started the fighting by cutting off the water.
No. This is a response. They cut off water, food. You don't fight wars like that. You don't cut off water from the normal population. You fight man to man, macho to macho.
Okay, so this happened after the fighting started.
Yeah, but they control 80% of the water before.
Austin, he didn't say that they started it by doing that. I think he said that they started it by occupying that area with the military in there.
They were living in destitute.
And then controlling them. Go ahead, Austin.
Oh, okay. And another thing, so they come into Hamas land and cut off the water?
Okay, let me explain it to you.
Yeah, they do that, right?
Oh,
don't they cut off the water and?
One time they banned chocolate, toilet paper, stationery paper. They don't want people to have chocolate. These evil Zionists. Look it up. I'm not making up anything. I want everybody in the chat, all those who follow Hake, to educate yourself. You have no reason not to educate yourself.
But you're a Muslim and Arab, so you kind of identify with these people. Aren't you biased?
Of course I identify, and I'm proud, and I support them 100%.
But that makes you a little bit biased, right?
Not biased. I'm telling you, because you have a way of fact checking me. I'm not saying you got.
No, I have no way of fact checking.
No, the American have no reason to be ignorant no more. Don't be stupid no more. You got to study. You got to do your own research. Everything is in the point of your finger now.
I personally don't feel that I need to research this stuff because that's for those men over there to handle it.
It's going to affect you. Remember I told you last time, right now, when 2 billion Arabs are watching TV every night and they see all these children dead, toddlers, those sucklings, they left them in the hospital and, and they came back, they're all dead.
But that feels like propaganda. That's if somebody overhears if somebody over here is emotional about that, that's a problem with them.
Propaganda is when you say this, they beheaded 40 babies.
Right, I didn't buy that either.
But Joe Biden came out and said, "Oh, shame! I saw those bodies. I can't believe they did that to them."
Yeah, Joe Biden's
going to lose. He's going to lose.
So you voting for Trump?
Of course, I'm going to vote for Trump. He's evil as he is, but I'm going to make sure that idiot gets out of the White House because he's overrun.
Yeah.
At least Trump, I want to.
He's a man of peace.
Who's that? No.
Trump is.
No, he's an idiot.
He's an idiot of peace.
Trump is not his own man. I'm telling you.
I don't care. He's a man of peace. He's God's man.
What they used to do to him, they used to say, he's like, I want to do this. I want to do that. They say, okay, Mr. President. Then he drink a couple of Diet Cokes. After he forgets and nothing happens. He was not running the country. There are certain groups of people who are running the country. I sent you the list, Mamba.
What do you say about all this, Austin and North Carolina? Go ahead.
Well, I think I can't really hear what he's saying. It's kind of quiet.
Oh, my bad.
Fine.
Our bag. Oh, okay. Yeah, he's saying that. Oh, man, that stinks. So, can you? I don't know if anybody can fix that. I'll have to talk to Bill, the engineer. He said that we're going to get Biden out and put Trump in, even though Trump is an idiot, but Biden is off because he's buying into all the propaganda.
Go ahead, let him answer. I don't want to let the guest.
Go ahead, Austin.
Go ahead, Austin. We want to hear you, brother. Go ahead.
I don't really have anything else. I was just asking about the water thing.
Okay. What were you going to say about the water thing? What did you understand about it?
Nothing. That's why I was asking.
Oh, okay.
Before the war, Hake, before the war started, Netanyahu, Secretary of Defense, whatever you call it, defense minister, said, they are subhumans, they are animals. His other, Netanyahu goes on TV.
Who did he say that about? All of Palestinians or just the Hamas people?
All the Palestinians. Said,
how do you know that?
He said on TV.
But is he talking about Hamas? Because people who do evil things, sometimes we call them, that's animals. Go ahead.
Hold on. He said they are subhumans, they are animals. No water, no food, no electricity, no fuel, no medicine. Who is he talking about? He's talking about the whole population. You're not punishing Hamas. Okay. Then Netanyahu goes on TV and says, these are like the Amalek in Samuel 15:1-3. He says, that God ordered the Israelis to go and kill every man, woman, child, suckling, ox, donkey, monkey, everything. Don't leave anything alive. They are following the criteria of their Bible or their Torah, whatever it is. They are doing it. They are murdering every baby, every woman, every child in their place. They are throwing bombs deliberately. They are even throwing dumb bombs. They ran out of the smart bomb. They're just throwing anything because they have threw more bombs.
That's what I've heard.
More than the nuclear bomb you threw on Hiroshima, whatever. I can't pronounce these Japanese cities.
Yeah, Hiroshima and Nagasaki, something like that.
So the whole idea is that America right now, not the American people now, there's a difference. The American-owned, Zionist-owned government is on the wrong side of history again and again and again and again.
Austin in North Carolina, did you hear that? He says that Netanyahu's top defense minister called all the Palestinians, according to Omar over here, subhuman. So we're going to cut off their supplies and water and food and stuff.
Animals.
But how is Israel able to do that to the Hamas people? Do they not have their own water supply?
Apparently not.
They control it from outside. They control it from outside. And the water world, they need fuel. The underground water, they need fuel. They have no fuel to pump it up. So this is Israel is what they do is they control all the resources, even in the West Bank, all the water. They go and control that by the military. Even they control the vital things.
So the
for life.
Palestinians can't compete or can't defend themselves against them because they're just dominating. Sounds like.
Yeah, but
can they not get their own water?
Apparently not.
They don't have water on their land.
No, they have
that's a good question. I mean, it's a desert, but
it's a small.
So is Arizona, but people drill wells out there.
Yeah. Are they able to drill wells?
No, they have, but they can't pump the water up because there's no fuel.
But we didn't used to rely on fuel to pump wells. Didn't we have these arm pumps in the Old West?
You're talking about cities. You're not going to be pumping for 2.25 million. Come on, we got to be honest with each other here. You're talking about
I don't know. Maybe.
You're talking about 2.5 million people. We're going to pump water with our hands. The whole idea is that what's going on in Gaza and Palestine. I want all your subscribers and your viewers to take an opportunity after the show's over. Google things up, study the history of the conflict, study even Israeli scholars like Ilan Pappé, who's an Israeli scholar. Inside Tel Aviv, he said, we are wrong, we are the colonizers, and we should give these promises. Israelis, there are a lot of Israelis.
I know. There was a Jewish organization that's that once they shut down the 110 freeway in Los Angeles. They blocked the freeway just so that we would have a ceasefire over there. I don't know if that's going to work. I don't know if
the organization.
I don't think Israel cares about the 110.
It's called If Not Now. I give
but those are
$12
liberals. I don't necessarily trust them. I tend to agree with peace and stopping killing one another. But
okay, you could hate them with the internal politics of the United States. What they're saying is stop the killing. We're going to be on the side of people who don't want people to get killed. Any people. We don't want people to get killed. We don't even want Israelis to be killed.
Nice.
Civilians, not the army. The army, I hope they all perish.
Wow.
But nobody wants people to die.
But all the civilians have to go into the army.
Yeah, I don't. Well, but I'm talking about the mom and pop. I mean, nobody wants civilians in any country. Nobody wants people to die. I mean, then that's evil. Then I'd be more evil than them if I say, well, they could shoot all the civilians. Then I'm as evil as they are. Yeah, all we want with the Palestinians is self-determination, to be humans, to be part of the international community, to have ownership of their future and what they do, of the future of their children, as free, independent people.
But everybody wants to be free and independent. Not everybody gets that, because that's the world is evil. So you're never gonna, unless you're powerful enough to bring it on, or get everybody else on your side.
The Palestinians are not fighting the Israel. They fight in the United States because the weapons are coming free of charge. They fight in France. France send a ship, a field hospital. They fight in Germany. They send in weapons. They are sending so much weapons right now, free weapons. It's unbelievable against 2.5 million people who have homemade rifles and whatever they got on the black market. Eventually, they've been fighting for 70 days. That's the longest war for Israel.
Hey, I'm going to let somebody else jump in because I'm not really hearing it.
Okay, Austin.
My brother.
Thank you, Austin, North Carolina. Take care, man.
Thank you for calling, man. I'm taking over your show. Thank you for calling, man.
I want to get to Anthony, a first-time caller in Missouri, who disagrees with Omar. Anthony, are you there?
Hey, I'm here, yeah.
Go ahead.
I don't disagree with Omar, actually. I said I do agree with him.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
For what I was saying, what I want to say is that, or I guess what Omar is saying, a lot of people don't understand that there's so much corruption in the governments, or just in general, why there's so much hate and stuff. Because, again, they're all working for the enemy, which is the devil himself. And a lot of these things that happen with the wars and stuff, I call it human hunting instead of deer hunting and stuff. It's just time of the season to start kind of sacrificing humans. Yep. And that's what happens. And what happens, they use that kind of stuff, the wars, other killings, and then they use propaganda like the news to spread hate. And people just get all riled up and emotional about things. I don't think the Jewish people are bad people or the Islamic people are bad people.
But isn't everybody evil?
No.
Yeah, humans are in general evil, yes.
Yeah.
But
so they are. So it's evil versus evil, I think.
No, those who control.
It is. That's why we all need to come in peace with the whole understanding who God is, our Heavenly Father, right? But the whole thing is that the devil has people on the grip with more lies every single day, every single night. The more you keep watching the news, the more you're going to get hooked on these lies. It's nothing but gatekeeping. Of course, you're not going to find or listen to the truth or hear the truth on the news, because they're just obtaining the truth by spreading little lies. Or they may say something that may be true, but then they spread the bigger lie. And that's what's happening. It's just all corruption. The Zionists are the people who are like the higher ups. And I'm sure there's I don't know if there's a term for like Islamic empowers like the Zionists.
Not yet. We're trying. Not yet. We're trying.
He's trying to. He'll come up with a term eventually once they.
Yeah, we're trying to occupy
the caliphate. How about caliphate?
We're trying to occupy the Congress of the United States. We're trying to look for ways, but we don't have enough money yet, enough influence, and we don't have Hollywood on our side. Nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I mean, there's the Zionists, the Jesuits. I mean, the ones who are underneath all of them is the Freemasons, and they're all in cahoots basically. And I'm sure like whoever's accepting the gold to accept these wars and just basically create the propaganda because they're filthy, greedy, rich.
Cola, have you ever heard of AIPAC? Have you ever heard of AIPAC?
Did you hear that,
Anthony?
Anthony?
I heard of the word Apex. Yeah, he sounds like he's far away, but yeah, I could barely hear him. Yeah.
Okay.
But Apex.
Yeah, they are going to spawn. It's called the American Israeli Public Power, whatever. It's a Jewish lobbyist group. One of the most. They're going to spend $100 million to get rid of 4 U.S. congresswomen and men because they don't agree with their policy on Israel. Imagine if a foreign country like, let's say Arabia came and said, well, we're going to start spending $100 million to get rid of some congressmen because we don't like their view. They control the United States. The United States you guys, the Gentiles, you're only a picture. That's all you guys are. You don't own your country. You know, you're busy complaining about the Mexicans, but you're not complaining about the people who really have power over you. You understand? When you look at the U.S. government, I'm not trying to be anti-Semite or anything like that, but the United States government is full with a minority group that is overwhelmingly represented in Congress, in the Senate. Imagine the Secretary of State is an Israeli citizen. He's an
Blinken, Anthony Blinken. Yeah. Anthony Blinken.
He you know when he went there, what he said? You know what he said? He said, "I have come to you not as an American, as a secretary, but I have come to you as a Jewish citizen." What the hell? What? What are you talking about? Huh?
Yeah, there's too many people in our nation that there's not even
Homeland
born
Security,
and raised here. Yeah, it's just too much. It's all religious wars, technically. That's why I don't even consider myself religious because there's too many religions and there's only one God, you know. So, but that's the whole division, and it's all the lies of the devil that he tries to control and manipulate so many people in so many ways. And I mean, he could disguise himself as any kind of God that is out there religiously existing. So, I mean, it's all satanic, really.
Yeah, you know, Hake, you finished? You finished?
Appreciate that, Anthony, Missouri. Anything else?
Earth is still flat.
He's a flat earther. Nice.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, man. Merry Christmas to you.
All the pro-Palestinians call the show.
All right. God bless.
All the pro-Palestinians call the show. We want to hear your voice. Okay, let me just give you an idea before we go more further.
Okay.
When you go to Wall Street, there are 20 companies on the stock market that makes weapons. Now, these companies every 90 days have to show a profit. Every quarter, right or wrong, you know how business goes. Now, they make weapons of war. Now, if these weapons are not used and they're not selling them, their stock price go down and the stockholders don't make no money. So war has to be made. Conflicts have to be made for these weapons to be used so they could buy and buy and buy and more. This is what's going on. You could not have weapon makers in the stock market they have to show a profit every 90 days. And if they don't sell these weapons, there's no profit. The companies go down under, and then they have to make war. They have to create it if there's no war. You understand? Just to use those weapons.
I've heard that. Yeah.
I mean, if you go to the stock market, I do the stock market here. I dabble. I lost a lot of money.
Nice.
I'm an idiot. Lost 100,000.
Sorry to hear it.
Yeah, it's all right. So when I watch these, they're making a lot of money right now. So when you have the military industrial complex that is on the stock market, it should not be there because there's no reason for them to show a profit every 90 days. I mean, because if they do show these profit, these weapons have to be depleted. That means if I bought a bullet, I have to use it and buy another one. If I don't use that bullet, that company doesn't make no money because it's not making any new bullets. So they're going to have to start a conflict between me and Hake. Hake, your yard is kind of overgrown my yard. Hake, why aren't you cutting your trees? They're going on my yard. Then we start a fight. Then Hake uses our bullet, and he has to buy a new bullet, and that company makes money. This is what it is. It is what it is. People, educate yourself. Take your country back. All Americans, white, black, be pro-America. Be America first. Right now, what you have in Washington is it's a joke. You have these people, they go there just to investigate each other.
Yeah.
I
agree. Yeah, it's a shame. It's a mess.
If the Congress went home, only came out 2 times a year just to do the
We'd
budget,
be much better off, huh?
the country would be all right. Because what Congress do is they get bored. They make new laws.
I know.
And I hate new laws. I'm the one who hates them. Because they get bored. They start making laws because they have to, how about that? Oh, okay, people cannot use cans no more because some turtle choked
I've heard that.
on a can of Coke. And I'm just making things up.
Yeah.
I said this before, and I'll say it again. They should come like 4 times a year, hold a convention, make sure everything is okay, do the budget, and goodbye.
Right.
And go home.
Secure the border.
They're not doing that. They're not even doing that. Is it hard for you to secure your own border just to put a? I mean, how hard it is?
We're supposedly the most powerful nation on earth, and we can't stop these people coming in here.
And we're debating. Listen, we got you, but we have to release you.
Yeah.
You have more than 10, 11 million people walking around. We don't know who they are.
Yeah.
I'm the product of immigration, but I'm the product of legal immigration.
Right.
My father had to wait. We went through a process. We had to check our backgrounds. We had to give them fingerprints before we came to the United States. We even had to test with diseases.
Nice.
These worm diseases, these diseases like third world diseases. They don't want to, and we have to see we were negative. But when you have the border every day, 7,000 people just bye-bye, come back for your trial date. You think they're going to come back? Are you crazy? They're not going to come back. They're going to be working at Delhi someplace in the Bronx in New York.
Well, I'm glad you're voting for Trump this time around. I have to take a quick...
Michigan
Go ahead.
Will be Michigan if Trump just shut up, stop talking about the Muslims and Arabs. Just don't say nothing. Just play dumb. Michigan will be his.
Nice. Let's take a quick break. I want to play some Christmas music. It is Christmas time. I have Third Rail with Omar with me, Third_Rail on YouTube, The Comforter _1 on X. The lines are almost full. There is one line open. I will get right back to calls and super chats. I'm live with Third Rail with Omar. We're going to play I Wonder As I Wander by Phil Hahn and Steve Johnson, Songs of Christmas. It's not copyrighted, so that's nice. Be right back for hour 2. Hang tight, guys. We'll continue after this.
I wonder as I wander out under the sky, how Jesus the Savior did come for to die for poor hungry people like you and like I wonder as I wander out under the sky. I wonder when Mary birthed Jesus, 'twas in a cow stall with wise men and farmers and shepherds and all. But high from God's heaven a starlight did fall, and the promise of ages it then did recall. I wonder if Jesus had wanted for any small thing, a star in the sky or a bird on the wing, or all of God's angels in heaven to sing, he surely would have it because he was king. I wonder.
Thank you, guys, for bearing with me through the beautiful music. I got a super chat or two to read here. For Carver bought a coffee. Omar, are you here?
I'm here. I hear you loud and clear, my brother.
Okay, cool. And press 1 in the chat if you do hear him, 2 if you don't. Carver bought a coffee. Hey, Hake and Omar, of course we all agree hostage-taking is righteous and a noble act and always morally acceptable. But it got me wondering, what was their plan for the hostages if Israel didn't give in to their demands? Nice indoor hat, by the way.
Okay, I'm going to explain to you.
Yeah.
When Hamas went into this area, a lot of people went in that were not part of Hamas. So everybody picked them up, an old lady, an old man. It was so funny. It's like going to a grocery store. They just shopped for these people. Hamas took all the military individuals, like 135 of them, who were actual IDF soldiers. So when they brought all these people, Hamas had to collect them from all over Gaza to bring them back. And it was a headache. They had to babysit an 85-year-old woman, children. You don't need hostages like that. And you had to feed them. So they would try to bring them back the first week, but Netanyahu would not negotiate for them. So they brought them all back. They don't want them, but they held on to the most prized one. These are military people who have military IDs, who have weapons. They are people of war. And Hamas have every right into international law to take them as prisoners. Now, Hamas wants to do a swap. They say release 6,000 Palestinians who are in jail not for war. They haven't killed anybody. They're just under administrative holding. They have not seen a trial. You have women. You have children. Boys are getting raped in Israeli jail. You saw that on the BBC.
No, I didn't see that.
I'm going to send it to you. It's a State Department guy from the United States resigned because of the way the weapons they're given without any question asked. And he said, and he told a story of how they got news that a boy was raped in the Israeli jail. And when a human rights group reported to the State Department and they investigated and it turned out to be true, they closed down the human rights organization as a terrorist thing.
Wow.
All they want to do is they want to release them.
There's a whole lot of evil happening everywhere around the world. You can.
Hamas is operating under Islamic law when they will fight. You see, you gotta understand.
I don't think that's entirely true, man. You gave me good stories about how Hamas. There were people who like scolded them for mistreating the Israelis and stuff like that.
We're stepping on a dead soldier. Yeah.
Yeah, but there's also been stories where they were doing very evil things. Which I could believe that too. I think that there's like some who are worse than others in that Hamas group. They're not all.
No. I'm gonna tell you. You gotta look at the videos that day. That it was like, when they have a break.
I don't want to look at those videos.
No. In the beginning.
Yeah.
When they have a jail, when people like 3 guys break out of jail, and they leave the door open, then everybody gets out. You understand? Everybody gets out. So what happened is, there were more than 2,000 Hamas fighters and about 3,000 of just regular people going in there just for the first time trying to take revenge of what's going on to them. But
yeah, that's not good.
Hamas is I'm not different. I'm a liberal guy, so my views is against a lot of religious, extremism.
Yeah,
extremism.
Right.
But I know they operate under the doctrine of war, of Islamic war, how to treat the prisoners. They're not raping no women. I'm gonna tell you,
I don't know. I'm not there either.
They don't want to let them go. They had 40 women as hostages.
I would halfway expect them to R-word them.
No, but I'm going to tell you why it's not the R-word. Because if they did that, why didn't they R the women they took over as hostages for 30 days in a tunnel all alone with beautiful, nice Jewish white women? You understand? And nothing happened to them. All of a sudden, they just did it there, but then they're not going to do it over there.
Some people are more disciplined than others.
It doesn't happen. It never happened.
Okay.
These are lies. I'm going to tell you, take my word for it. I'm 100% sure that these fighters did not do it. If somebody else did it, they were there just for the hell of it. Yeah. Maybe they did, as other groups did it. But I know they were not allowed to. Because why? I saw a tape when the Israeli dead soldiers were on the floor and the guy was kicking his mouth, the Hamas fighter. He said, you child killer. He was calling you child killer in Arabic. The commander ran. He smacked him and he said, "What are you doing?"
Right.
We don't desecrate the dead. He's dead.
Yeah.
He said we don't do that.
I'm sure that there are very fine people on both sides. I want to go off topic a little bit here.
Yeah, it's okay.
I have a few super chats that are not directly pertaining to this. You can chime in if you like, and I have a caller I want to get to. who's
don't
been
worry.
on hold forever, and then a bunch of callers who want to talk about
Please
Hamas,
call in. Everybody
Israel.
jam the phone.
Oh,
show
yeah,
them
the
that
lines
I'm
are full.
popular, so you can have me back on again. Jam the phones, everybody. Everybody and their mother call. Let's go.
It's already happening. Scotty Ben 1000 bought a coffee. Hake, my 6-year-old daughter loves everyone on the JLP network, JLP radio network. Follow on YouTube and Instagram. But she loves you the most. Hey, every day. See, Hake is a kids-friendly show. Every day she walks around this house singing la la la, like my mug says la la la. But she's saddened to know she won't get a Hake t-shirt for Christmas because y'all don't sell any kid sizes. I disavow. I may have to remedy that situation. Scott Ben 1000. Thanks for the coffee. You can go to thehakereport.com and get your stuff. Are you a flat earther, Omar, or a ball tard?
Oh, no. I don't believe in that stuff.
Ball earth?
Yeah, I'm a round. It's a globe.
Me too.
Yeah, it's silly.
Right on. Okay. Losing brain cells so you don't have to bought 2 coffees. John Kerry, special envoy to climate, fake veteran, fake job, fake authority, committed USA to COP28 climate goals that eliminate coal so we can buy wind and solar equipment from China manufacturing that uses coal. I know, crazy. Related to Dylan Burns' dumb point that green energy is getting cheaper because it's made using coal. Duh! Broken Clock Sleepy Joe was correct about the cost of goods, but for the wrong reason. He said companies should just lower prices in an unsurprising admission that he has no idea how anything works. Price fixing and collusion are illegal. Economists... Go ahead.
Can I chime in on that?
Yes.
As a businessman,
yeah.
Once something goes up, it never goes down. Even if it gets cheaper, we just lower it a little bit.
Yeah.
Because we already conditioned the customers.
Right.
I'm telling you, let's say something goes up to $1.55, but it was $1.30 because the inflation. So the inflation down, it's never going to come back down. I'm going to lower it to $1.15.
Yeah.
Once something goes up, it never goes down. It doesn't. It's lies. All this inflation. That's it. It went up.
Wow.
I'm telling you, the only thing
that's
goes
an
down,
interesting point. That's true. You get used to
prices. It. No, the consumer, we give them all milk is cheap.
Yeah.
Bread is cheap. Eggs is cheap because that's the one they buy every day. But everything else, they get hit in the head with it. You understand?
Yeah.
They got R with it.
R-worded with it, yeah.
Financially R.
Right. Let me continuing with this guy's super chat. He said, price fixing and collusion are illegal. Economists have agreed that no economic cabals had formed in the last 30 years. However, an increasing of the use of social media and internet services has enabled companies to externalize blame for high costs on inflation and share pricing through third-party data services. They also do this with labor data to keep wages down. Marketplaces such as Amazon steadily increase prices through signaling. Software regularly nudges prices upward briefly, then lowers them. Suppliers see the bump and then increase costs, and the price moves up. Repeat, just like what Omar just said. Third rail with Omar. Data sharing is how McDonald's charges $14, $16, $18 for the same Big Mac at different but nearby locations. Did you see California governor's virtual Christmas tree lighting? Governor Cybele and her wife Gavin with Saccharin family among a group of portly American Indian women hanging decorations. Opening was read by American Indian male who said California land has always belonged to them, but they welcome all people to share it. Total mess. Wow. What you think of Gavin Newsom? Do you have any opinion on Gavin Newsom, my governor?
I think he's a slick operator.
Yeah.
He's a slick operator. He's good looking. He talks a lot. But I think by being too slick, it might hurt him because Americans don't like that. They're onto you.
Yeah.
You know, after a while, they like that guy, Vivek, whatever.
Ramaswamy.
Whatever, you know, he's throwing everything at the wall. After a while, like, what the? Get out of here, man. You become a nuisance. You have no policy. Oh, I'm going to abolish the FBI, abolish the Treasury, abolish the Department of Energy, abolish the... Okay, then are we going to have a country after you finish or not?
Probably not.
Yeah, the American people are into it. He's slick. He's good looking. He knows his stuff. He's good with numbers. But I don't want him to be too slick if he runs for president, because I think he's going to be the president for
oh, really?
2020. The guy's not going to last. Sleepy Joe.
Yeah.
Sleepy Joe, I don't even think he rules the country.
Yeah, I know. I think he's sort of. I mean, he's always been a kind of go along to get along guy. He just goes with the winds of politics.
I'm talking about literally. He's not in charge of the country.
Yeah.
They just have him say the things. He goes out in front of the mic. He still makes mistakes. He goes back in. He goes up and take the nap. And those guys rule the country. The J boys and their friends, they rule the country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I have to disavow that one just for the sake of my channel. I have a caller here. I want to plow through some calls. Oh, by the way, Carver says, nice indoor hat, by the way. We've talked about this. You wear an indoor cap and sunglasses.
Well, these are prescription glasses.
Okay.
By the way. My eyes look ugly on camera. I'm going to be honest with you. Look, I have my regular glasses right here.
Yeah.
And I look like a fish when I look at my camera. You know, I'm self-conscious.
Coke bottle glasses.
Yeah, and this is I'm showing something. This is my trademark. You understand?
All right.
So, in show business, you have to do something. Yeah, it's my look. So everybody will say, "Oh, there you go, Omar, with that damn sunglasses and that goddamn hat. Look at him again."
Sorry, kids.
Yeah, sorry.
All right. Let's get to Josh in Georgia, who's been on hold forever, and then I'll get back into this ADL, Israel, Hamas stuff. Josh in Georgia, you're live with Third Rail with Omar and Hake. What's up, man?
Yeah. Hey, what's up? Merry Christmas, Omar.
You too, my brother. Thank you.
Do you celebrate Christmas, Omar?
Yes.
No, I think Christmas is a pagan holiday. It's not even a Christian holiday between me and you.
Oh, okay. For me, it's Christian. We just took over the pagans and turned it Christian.
It was celebrated 4,000 years ago by the people in Germany.
Yeah.
Because the summer comes up on December 25, so they used to celebrate the beginning of summer.
Oh, in the southern.
Yeah, it's a Roman holiday that all became Christianity.
Okay.
If you want to worship
summer
God,
or winter.
No. Summer comes up at that time.
Oh.
If you want to celebrate Christianity, don't celebrate no holiday. Go to church, get on your knees every Sunday, thank the Lord, and go home. All these holidays are only commercial to make money and get you broke. What does eggs have to do with Easter? With
the resurrection of our Lord and Savior.
Come on, these are all pagan holidays.
But it was kind of you said didn't you say Merry Christmas back to him or something like that? You said
no. I said if you celebrate Christmas, yeah, of course I am. Said it, but my personal opinion, I'm against all holidays, even Islamic holidays that are not really Islamic.
And you're Islamic or are you Christian?
No, I'm a Muslim, my brother. Oh, you're gonna hate me now.
Oh, you're a Muslim. Okay,
yeah,
so you don't know much about Christianity. You don't know much about Christmas.
Oh no,
here
I
in
studied
America.
Christianity. I can tell you what it is. Christianity. I don't like Paul. I'm gonna tell you that for sure.
He doesn't like Paul.
Paul destroyed Christianity.
You don't like Paul? Well, interesting.
Paul was tough on women.
He destroyed all the laws of Jesus. Jesus said, "I have not come to change the law, but I have come to affirm them." And Jesus was circumcised. You don't get circumcised. Jesus didn't eat pork. You guys eat pork. You're supposed to follow the leader. Whatever your Savior did, you're supposed to do the same thing. Not some headhunter named Saul, who, to make it look good, changed his name to Paul, so he'll be more palatable for the Christians.
Wow.
He changed
I've
his
heard
Jewish
this from
name.
other guys.
Yeah, he just changed his name from a Jewish name to a Christian name, so he'll look more palatable. The guy got his head cut off at the end. What kind of obstacle is this guy is? Yeah.
What a lame-o.
Paul is my favorite guy. He's my favorite guy in the Bible.
I like
He's my
Paul
favorite guy in the Bible.
Well, he's going to be a favorite guy because he wrote 13 books. Almost half the Bible is written by him. Where's the gospel of Jesus? That's what we want. When you find me the gospel of Jesus, then we'll be on the same. Give me the gospel of Jesus. That's what I want. I don't want no Paul, no Matthew, no, the John, according to this guy, according. It's not even they said he said them.
Right.
All these storytelling. The Bible of Jesus was lost according to Muslims. Jesus was
Hey, Omar, were you born in America or were you born in Arabia?
No, I was born in Yemen, but I was raised in the tough streets of Brooklyn, New York. I was a gang member. I did everything you could think about.
Wow.
Really?
Burned down. Oh, yeah, that was with the brothers, man.
And do you think you'll ever go back to Yemen to live there, or you'll never want to live there?
Never, I'll never go back. I haven't been there 30 years. I went one time to visit my grandfather before he died. After that, that's it. Yeah, I don't.
Why don't you want to go back to Yemen to live there?
Not that. I didn't even want to leave New York to another state. I don't like any. I love New York. I'm just like a rat. You know those rats in the subway?
A homebody.
Yeah, I'm serious. I would never go live in another state. If you came here and say, Omar, we're going to give you a house on a ranch someplace in Texas, I'm like, no. Yeah. I want the noise and the craziness of New York. People, hey, get out of the way. No, bum. Hey, beep, what are you doing? Move.
I understand
Get
that.
out of here, you Hispanic crazy man. Everybody hates each other, but they live together. I am an American in every way. I dream American. I sleep American. I eat American. I think American, and I do hold some views that are not incompatible with Hake and his views.
Right.
But at the end of the day, we love. But at the end of the day, we love the country and we want the best for our country. Isn't we could agree on that?
I agree with that.
Yeah. I mean, I was just. Asking,
I don't want
man.
to force you, Josh and Georgia. You don't have. You didn't sound like you wanted.
Yeah,
to
I don't know who I agree with, man. I don't agree with Hake on a lot of things. You know, I'm just interested in just ask. I like to ask these questions.
Whatever,
you know, I'm a big
Flat Earth or Ball Earth?
Well, he said he doesn't agree
I'm a
with Islam.
globetard, man. I do agree with you on that. I am a globetard.
Nice. That's all
the
that
question
matters.
I called for, I may disagree with you on this question I called you for. That.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So it's kind of related to the Israel-Palestine thing, believe it or not.
Okay.
But the question I was going to ask you, Hake, is being grammatically correct.
Yeah.
Is there practicality to that in general, or is it just an ego fulfillment thing?
For me, it's
overall, or is it?
For me, it's all ego. Whenever anybody's grammatically incorrect, I puff up and be like, "That's a split infinitive," or whatever. So for me, it's all ego. There's nothing practical about it. Even if you do a double negative, we know what you mean. If you say, "I ain't got no," well, that means you would have some mathematically or Englishly, grammatically. But we all know that you mean you don't have any. So I don't think that there's any. There may be some practical things, and in formal writing, it's good to write like you have some sense. But other than that, and speaking well, you know, it's good to know. But by and large, it's all ego.
Interesting,
yeah,
man.
It's all just Hake's self-righteousness.
I could argue the other.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was just saying, in general, it's all Hake's self-righteousness. Mostly joking around, but also I'm just kind of bashing these journalists.
There's a question in your chat. They said, Omar, Hake, asks your guest about Aisha, about how old was Aisha.
Aisha? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm going to spell it to you when you finish with the guest.
Oh, okay, cool. So go ahead, Josh.
Okay. All right, because, I mean, real quick, I was thinking, like, you kind of can't tell, because when somebody talks and they're grammatically correct, it's kind of like this Israel-Palestine situation. To me, it looks like Israel, they're the grammatically correct ones. They are, you know, do the right thing. They're like the white people in America. And then the Arabs are like the blacks in America complaining.
I sense that too. They know the Jewish people know how to present themselves in such a way as to get a lot of people on their side, and they're kind of proper and powerful. They may or may not be doing evil at times. In many cases, they are, but they do it in a supposedly lawful way.
Hold on, guys.
I like Ben Shapiro, man. I like. If you had to ask me right now, I don't want to choose a side. But right now, the side looks like it's Israel. You know.
Oh, okay.
That's like I'll be pro-Israel.
Ben Shapiro.
They're the honorable ones. Just looking at it on face value. I could be completely wrong. You know, no disrespect to Omar, no disrespect to the Palestinians.
No, brother.
That's kind of like what it's like when I hear somebody who's grammatically correct. They're proper. They're not cursing. They're like Bill Lockwood or like Hake.
I haven't seen
as opposed to someone who isn't grammatically correct. They're from the street, or they're not. I guess you could probably even say like Jesse, how Jesse thought. He's not always grammatically correct.
Yeah.
And it's like you automatically judge that person as like, okay, what's wrong with you? Why are you not, what's your malfunction? But it could be wrong on both sides, you know? So that's kind of how this Israel-Palestine thing is.
To me, I think a lot of the liberals, like Dylan Burns, he seems dressed up, proper, sensible, knowledge-able. And then I seem kind of off the cuff, ignorant, just defiant. Everything's communism. So he's the more grammatically politically correct person, whereas I'm the
Omar
R word, etard Ray.
Right.
I'm the R word. I'm just a normal guy.
Yeah.
I don't pretend to be overeducated. I know Dunenburn is very educated, and he's into the Ukraine thing. He's deeply into it.
Yeah.
What I want to tell my brother is, first of all, I don't want you to follow Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro is a Zionist parading as a conservative, pro-Christian. No, I'm going to be honest with you.
I like him, man. I like Shapiro. I would rather have Ben Shapiro than anybody
that man
I
has
know
nothing.
who's pro-Palestine.
That man has nothing in common with you or Christianity.
You don't know me, though.
No,
you don't know me at all, though. How can you say he has nothing in common with me?
Because
you're a Christian, he says.
You're a Christian. He's a Zionist, pro 100% Zionist. He's just using you to.
I have more in common with the Zionists than I have in common with the Muslims. I can tell you that much as a Christian here in America. And I've been Christian all my life. I love Paul. I love Christmas. I love
Israel.
I think they
like
both.
Ben Shapiro.
I think they seem both to have valid gripes, but I'm just a silly dude person, mama.
He's right. He's right, Hake. He's right. The Christian Zionists, there are 23% of evangelists who identify as Christian Zionists. Israel, the idea of Israel was first. I told you, was first created in the 19th century, in the 1880s, 1870, by Christian Zionists who had this idea. They wanted to serve two things: get rid of the Jews from Europe, and push for the rapture of Jesus to come. The whole idea is to full Israel, all the Jews all over the land of Israel, then Jesus will come. This is the whole idea. The biggest enemy is the Zionist Christian for the Muslims, really, who are the one who created the state of Israel, who maintain it. It's so terrible that Zionist Christian will give all their money to the Jewish state, but will not help the Christian minority who are Palestinians, who have had to leave Bethlehem, the birth of Jesus place, who live in dire. Why don't you help your Christian brothers there instead of being I'm a Zionist? Help your fellow Christians. When I see you love your fellow Arab Christians, then we'll talk to you. But right now we have nothing in common with the Zionist Christian because you are nothing but an accomplice to a crime of 100 years.
Whoa!
And I thank you very much. And I want you to educate yourself, my friend. This guy, what was his name?
Josh in Georgia.
No, the guy.
Ben Shapiro?
Ben Shapiro. Yeah,
Yes.
I swear on everything I love, he doesn't have nothing to do with Christianity. The only thing is he loves your money. Unlike idiots.
But he hires he hires Matt Walsh, who's Christian. He hires who's that other guy who did the great thing? He did a really great
business
porn expose.
Boren. Yeah,
I'm blanking on his name. He said he called that girl a mentally ill Swedish child.
Oh, by the way, I want to tell you something. I want to apologize to Candace Owen. She's still ugly. But I like when she spoke up to Ben Shapiro. She said, "You can't serve two gods."
Oh, okay, that's funny.
You saw that when they had that fight on Twitter?
Yeah.
And she went to her paternity. She showed her muscles, man. That was the first time I agreed with her on anything. First time in my life. And I apologized to her on Twitter.
Michael Knowles. Michael Knowles is a Christian, and he's hired by Ben Shapiro, so he's sort of a friend of Christians a little bit. And Michael Knowles, thank you. Michael Knowles, I'm a fan of Michael Knowles.
My father used
I am too. I like Michael Knowles.
My father used to own a candy store, and he used to sell Jewish newspaper, Spanish newspaper. He used to sell it in order to make money.
Yeah.
So they are just products with Ben Shapiro. Because he has to give you something for your money.
Well, I mean that's how life is. People really treat each other as products, kind of.
Yeah, and Dennis Prager is a Zionist.
But Dennis Prager is very Christian friendly.
Yeah, he's Zionist about it.
That's all right.
I like Dennis Prager, man.
Yeah.
You never hear them bashing, the Palestinians or the Arabs the way that you hear the Arabs bashing them.
I think there's a lot of dehumanization. I think
that
that there's a lot of propaganda and dehumanization on many sides.
On both sides, yeah, I agree with that. I'm not taking any sides. Omar, I hear you, man. It's like
brother.
I remember when Ben Shapiro was on the Fallen State with Jesse, and he said there's no way Trump can win.
That's
Didn't
funny.
he bet Jesse a coffee or something, or bet him a lunch or something?
Lunch, but it's the year of Jubilee, so all debts are forgiven.
Why don't you look at Ben Shapiro's view when he was on the Joe Rogan show, his view on Jesus, what he said about Jesus on the
I saw that.
Joe Rogan.
What do you expect? He's Jewish.
He called him a criminal. He said he was a rebel. He's a criminal.
That's what they thought.
Yeah, and they still do that. You think they really care? They call him JC. They don't even call him his name.
Nice.
That's what they call him in the Jewish community. They call him JC. They give him the name JC.
Well, this is a great call, Josh in Georgia. Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, no problem, man. You can keep it rolling, and thanks for the show. And hey, Merry Christmas to you, Omar.
You too, brother. I wish you a happy holiday, and I wish you and your family. And thank you for calling. We could disagree, but we still have to agree that we are still human and love each other.
All
Everybody
right.
call the Hake. I need some pro-Palestinian callers.
Okay.
Hurry up, guys. Where are you?
Right on, Omar. Merry Christmas to you, man.
You too.
Thanks for coming on the show.
Once in a blue moon. No problem. I love it. I asked him to do it. He never invites me on his own. I'm like, hey, can I come, please?
All right, let's get to Mark in California, who's been on hold forever. Mark, thanks for calling and holding. You're live with Omar of Third Rail.
Yes, thanks for taking my call. First of all, on the ADL,
Yeah.
he's been right about everything that he said so far. The ADL was founded because a man by the name of Leo Frank raped and killed a little white girl by the name of Mary Fagan. This was in Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and the Klan apparently was revived after that happened. I know the ADL was also founded, but the Klan was also revived because it was a Jew that killed this little Christian girl, and he tried to blame it on a Negro.
Right.
And that is how the ADL was founded, and the Klan's second revival.
Oh.
But the thing is, the ADL did spy on the Nation of Islam 30 years ago. The FBI busted them. They are a spy group, just like Omar says.
Okay.
My question. I have two quick questions for Omar.
Okay.
One, does he believe that the Holocaust happened in Germany? And secondly, does he believe Jesus was a Jew?
What he said? Okay. I believe, the Holocaust did happen. I don't know about the numbers, and I don't want to get in trouble in this channel.
Right.
But something did happen. A lot of people died. 20 million Russians died. I don't know why we don't count.
I know. I heard that. I learned that from I learned that recently. 20 million Russians.
4 million Bengalis died from famine because Churchill took the food supply and brought it back to Germany and deprived them. That's almost a Holocaust, if you want to call it a Holocaust.
Yeah, a whole lot of death.
Issue, nobody has an exclusive right to misery or death. A lot of people died. American died. British people died. Everybody died in that war, which is terrible.
A lot of Germans, too.
Jesus was a Muslim, by the way. Okay.
He was Muslim? So he was not Jewish?
Yeah, he was Jewish.
He was Jewish, but he was a Jewish Muslim?
See, people don't understand what Muslim means. It doesn't mean Islamic. Muslim is a person who submits his will to God. We're all Muslims. You submit your will to God, don't you, Hake?
That's up for debate. But I would want to.
Do you submit your will to your God, to Jesus? What I mean? Do you submit your will to God?
In my best moments, perhaps.
I know. I mean,
that's
everybody who believes in God.
That's the idea. Yes.
That's what Muslim actually mean. The word Muslim mean is a person who submit to God. That's all it is. Jesus was a Muslim. He was Jesus. Jesus didn't make any laws. People don't know that. Jesus didn't make any new laws. He said, "I have come to uphold the laws of Moses."
Yeah.
Fulfill the laws of Moses. It is you know who made laws? If you go to the U.S. Supreme Court, there are 17 statues. You'll find Muhammad's statue there, and you'll find Moses. These are people who made laws on earth, or who created laws of behavior. Jesus never had that opportunity. Jesus is one of the mightiest prophets.
Mark, you're in wind. I hear wind or something.
Good.
I'm sorry. I have a follow-up question.
Okay, go ahead.
If he believes the Holocaust existed, and he's going to take the Jews at their word for it that it did happen, why should we believe that what happened on October 7th wasn't real? If he's going to accept the lies of the Jews on one issue, and then say the same thing the Germans are saying after the war, that we didn't commit a Holocaust.
I'm going to be honest with you. I was not around what happened in the 1930s.
Well, neither was I.
Yeah.
Yeah, but according to the United States, I was taught in school it did happen. It did happen. It really doesn't matter to me. It happened, didn't happen. It has nothing to do with me, really.
Well, no, it does. It should, because the Jews who went to the Middle East were there because of World War II.
That's right.
They were run out of Germany, and they came to you guys.
We paid the price. They came in lice-infected boats, running around, coming there. Oh, Moses gave this to us. We belong, my friend. You're not Jewish. You have blue eyes. You have blonde hair. You are from. You are an Ashkenazi Jews. You converted in Ukraine. You have no common. You know, DNA is not allowed in Israel. You're not allowed to take a DNA test.
Oh.
You know that, right?
No, I didn't know that.
They're not. They don't want the people to know.
That's probably smart, though. Shouldn't we? Aren't we not supposed to do that?
No, because they find
they're
out
going to clone us.
They're not from the region. He's going to say, Poland, Lithuania, Russia, Poland.
But that's because they've been the diaspora for so many years.
It's not that. Those are converts. The real Jews are the Arab Jews that were living in the Middle East. They're called the Sephardic Jews or the Mozartic
Sephardic,
Jews.
yeah, I've heard that.
That's the real Jews who look like Jews like us, who are. They've been there for thousands and thousands since the days of Jesus, before Jesus. But these guys are nothing but new kids on the block. They're even racist.
Okay.
Look at the government.
But I like racism. I'm okay with that.
You don't have no Sephardic in government. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
I wanted to ask, what do you think of the fact that Hitler worked with Islam before World War II, and Iran, the original Shah, was pro-National Socialist? So there's been an alliance between the National Socialists and the Muslims, Islam, for a long time. It was long before Israel was ever created. So what do you say to that?
Well, you have to agree that Hitler was the president of a powerful nation. So
Germany.
He did have, before the war, he did have a relationship with other countries. He did have impact. People came to his country and visited him because he represented Germany. Germany is no joke.
Right.
Even afterwards.
Well, okay, you're right up to a point. The reason that they liked Hitler was because they agreed with him on the Jews. Are you going to deny that?
They agree with you. Got to find there's a lot. They agree with them because they don't want them to be immigrated to Palestine. That's the whole idea. But you have to. There are agreements with the Zionists and Hitler to get the Jews and their property. I'm going to look it up when I come next time. I'm going to give you the name of the agreement they had to get rid of the Jews and send them to Palestine. One Jewish Zionist said that when they told him that the Jews are suffering in Poland, he said, "I'd rather have a Jewish cow in Jerusalem than 10 Jews in Poland." That's how much they saw that. It was a movement to move the Jews out of there. Holocaust. World War II the whole war was a Holocaust. If 20 million Russian perished, that's a lot. Excuse me.
Okay, I got a quick question.
Okay, go ahead.
I could barely hear him, so I'll ask it through you, Mr. Hake.
Okay.
Does he believe, and did he support an alliance between the Islamic people and the Nazis? That's a simple question.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I have no idea what was going on. What was the purpose behind it?
Well, then I'll educate you on that. If you don't know what was going on, I can tell you what was going on.
The Mufti, I know what you're trying to say. The Mufti of Jerusalem visited Hitler. This is what the Jewish prophet says, and he did visit Hitler, and they did have a conversation, and they did have a conversation on the Jewish question. But you have to understand the Mufti was appointed by the British. Palestine was under the British mandate. So do they have something in common? Yes, they did. The thing they have in common is the Palestinians did not want people to come and settle in Palestine. So they're telling Hitler, don't send the Jews to Palestine. You know, do what you want to do.
Nobody else wanted them. Nobody wanted them.
So it's kind of like the Palestinians. Nobody wants the Palestinians today.
And it's regrettable because most of the scientists and the nuclear weapons, they were done by Jews who ran away from Germany.
That's what I heard. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the A-bomb.
Germany suffered when they lost. I'm gonna be honest with you. When they lost all those Jews, they were very educated scientists, physicists, with the best in the world. They grabbed them. Our NASA, the head of NASA was a German ex-Nazi.
Wow.
And they proved that he had a cut in his face. You could say because the Germans used to fight with swords.
Wow.
And they got cut in the face with a show of pride. They were all Nazis because they grabbed them. When Berlin fell, the Russians grabbed as much as they can, but mostly the scientists, the United States grabbed them and brought them back in here because they were ahead. If Hitler just waited 10 years without any war, Germany would have been the most powerful nation in the world. I mean, all he had to just wait. But he just rushed it, and he rushed these invasions of Europe. The worst mistake he did when he invaded Russia. Russia has always been very hard to invade because you always lose when winter comes. Napoleon, everybody who has invaded Russia, got defeated by winter, not by the Russians. He did a
Mark,
lot of things at one time.
Mark in California, appreciate your call, man.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank
take
you,
care. Lucas in California is on the line. Lucas, thank you for calling and holding. You're live with Third Rail with Omar.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I wanted to address everyone. It seems like looked over it, but you said Hamas are freedom fighters. Do you know what that means?
Yeah, they're resisting. They're trying to get to self-determination.
What are they fighting? What freedom are they fighting? Is everything okay where they're at? Is somebody suppressing where they live or anything like that?
Doesn't he know? They're under occupation by Israel.
They're not. They're under. Hamas is under occupation by ISIS.
Israel, he's saying.
By Israel. Israel is occupying their lands and their lives. They have They have no self rule. They have nothing.
What do you mean? They're not in. Hamas isn't in Israel. So what are you talking about?
He's saying that Israel. He's saying Israel soldiers are in Hamas's land.
Is in Palestine. That's the problem. If they were in Israel, then there would be a problem.
Yeah, well, that wouldn't be. They wouldn't be there if you. If see, I was about to say you guys because it sounds like you're one of them, but they wouldn't be there if Hamas didn't freaking go in parachutes and kill a bunch of people at a concert. This wouldn't be happening. So they wouldn't be there. They wouldn't be occupying anything.
Yeah, you see, you don't know about the whole thing. They
well,
are
he has a point, though.
Explain. Okay. Call me dumb then. Explain.
He doesn't know. He doesn't know about that. They've been under occupation for 56 years. Gaza has
been under occupation.
That means, let's say Mexico took over California. Now the Californians wants to get rid of the Mexicans. Now, what are we going to call the fighters in California? Do they have the right to defend California and get rid of the Mexicans out of California?
I think just to explain, Lucas. Let me explain.
It's the other way around. But it's the other way around. It's like as if Mexico is trying to be like, no, California is Mexico and trying to come in and take it over.
What I'm telling you right now. No, it's not. There's an occupation. The occupation. I'm giving you an example. I'm trying to make sense.
Before October 7th, there were Israeli soldiers in Palestine. An
occupation. 56 years. They've been of an occupation.
According to Wikipedia, they've been occupying militarily the Palestinian land on some level, and I don't know if.
And they've been under siege since 2000
siege. What does that mean? Just blockading their
siege,
stuff.
You can't come in, you can't come out. They even control the calories.
But that's partly because. Isn't that partly because? To Lucas's point, isn't that partly because Hamas has been firing rockets for a long time? Before October 7th.
Okay, before Hamas, who they were fighting? They were still in occupation before Hamas was. They were still Palestinians being killed before Hamas.
But there were other people firing rockets and fighting them.
No, the people. But they were not on the ground. Have you heard of the word for every
I don't think there's any fighting for freedom.
So
my point was, how are they freedom fighters? Because if they have the freedom to own missiles and shoot them off at Israel, I'm pretty sure they got freedom.
Those are
what freedom are they fighting for?
Good
point. Freedom from what? Tell me, freedom from what, though? Freedom from what?
You see, from the occupation. Are we making sense to you or not?
What do you mean? Yeah, you're talking about, they can't be in a certain place? Too bad. Then make your own place where you can be. That's all you're saying. They can't be in a certain place?
Ignorance is a blessing in the United States.
No, he's making an interesting point.
I love that you say that, dude. I love that you say that, bro. Because I don't get why you talk on any American issue. The fact that you say that, go ahead and talk about your Arab land and stuff like that. Go ahead and do that. But never talk about America because you know nothing about America. You know zero about America.
I think I know more than you. Trust me. I have a
You know nothing about America. You don't know nothing. Jesse Peterson knows more about America than everyone. Dude, a legal that just jumped over the border knows more about America than you. You know nothing about America. You're living in crazy Hamas land. You're living in terrorist land in your mind.
I live in New York City. I have a.
But he's saying in your mind because your mind is very much interested in this story.
Because we cannot get into head what an occupation is. He doesn't understand. So how do you make somebody understand? It's like talking to a rock.
But he makes an interesting point though. Even if he's not saying it correctly 100%, even if he's kind of ignorant on this stuff, he's making an interesting point that they would not be occupying that necessarily if there wasn't fighting happening from the other side.
Every nation starts
if they
with
were
a fight.
Peaceful, they wouldn't be occupied, right?
Okay, how did I?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes,
okay,
yes.
George Washington
think.
and those who fought the Revolutionary War. I mean, if they didn't fight, I mean, what was the problem? I mean, what did they get all those weapons for? The British were not bothering them. They just wanted to raise the taxes. There was no slaughtering Americans in the colonies and things like that. You have to understand. I made it simple. I made it simple for you. I'm giving an example just to give you an idea. It's not what it is. I'm just going to give you a visual idea. Let's say Mexico is Israel, and California is Gaza. You have the Mexicans have jumped their border, and they're occupying everything that the Californian eats, drinks. They have no rights to self-determination. They don't rule their own lives. They don't have there's no decision. Then the Californians have every right under God's law and the man's law to defend their land and get rid of the aggressor from their land. Very simple. It is a known fact, even probably in religious faith.
Now Hamas, but Hamas doesn't give rights to the Palestinians either. So it's kind of like I know an Israeli who said
how can you give rights that you don't have? I don't understand. You guys got to.
I know, but listen to this.
I get what you're coming from.
I know
they want the freedom. They're fighting for the freedom to kill Israelis and Jews. You're right. You know what? They are freedom fighters. Look, I'm going to get off because I'm getting too heated. I'm going to get, but you're right. Yeah, they are fighting for the freedom to kill Israelis.
Okay, interesting.
You have not explained yet. You have not explained yet what freedom they're fighting for, except land. So that's a war. That's called a war.
Yeah.
It's called a battle.
Brother, listen.
Interesting, man.
I want you to look up Norman Finkelstein, Jewish, especially Ilan Pape, like an Italian name. Ilan, Ilan Pappe he's a Jewish scholar in Tel Aviv, and just watch his videos.
I also look up the Taqiyya as well. All right, nice talking to you guys.
Thank you, Lucas in California.
I like when they throw the word Taqiyya. Let me explain to you what the word Taqiyya is.
All right, okay? Let's hear Taqiyya.
Taqiyya is used by Shia. Shia Muslim. I'm not a Shia Muslim. When the Shia broke away from the Sunni Muslims, they were small minorities. They were afraid of getting killed. So they created this taqiyya. They pretended they were Sunnis. They were not. They were Shia. Prayed with the majority. Did everything with the majority as a way of not getting killed or knowing who they are. That's what taqiyya is. For the Shia, they have to use it to stay alive because they were afraid of being murdered by the majority. Very simple. We got rid of it. That's what taqiyya means.
Okay.
You're allowed to lie if your life is on the line. Everybody lie. I will lie on my mother if somebody has a gun on my head. Oh, there she's right there. Don't kill her. You understand?
All right, let's get to David. Let's get to David in Ocala, Florida, who's been on hold forever. David, you're live with Third Rail with Omar.
Hey, Hake and Omar.
Hey.
What's up, my brother?
Spoiler alert, you got your wish, okay? I want to just give me just 1 minute to run through this, okay? And then y'all can debate whatever I got to say, okay? First off, Israel's not going anywhere, okay? Because the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob's not going to let that happen. Now, you know, I called you like 2 months ago when this first went down and told you how bad it was going to get, that the world was going to hate them, start hating them, okay? Like now you see the universities and all that, right? Remember I told you the university, I mean, now you got all those kids protesting, you got people ripping down Israeli flags in New York. It's going to get so bad, okay, for Israel until the Antichrist whoever this Antichrist is, talks them into signing a 7-year covenant, okay, with many nations. Now,
that's the problem right there.
Halfway through this covenant, he breaks it and he stands up in this temple and he claims he's God, and they take off running. Okay, many people believe they go to Petra, that type of stuff. At the end of the 7 years, all the armies of the world surround Israel. Jesus comes down and puts his feet down on the Mount of Olives. They split. He rescues them, and he ushers in the 1,000-year millennium. Now, one of the reasons hold up, I'm almost done. One of the reasons for the 1,000-year millennium is to give them the land that God gave them, okay, in the beginning, okay, back in the Old Testament. They don't have near the land that God promised them back then.
They're not gonna get it.
That's it.
Okay, man. David in Florida, go ahead. What's your response?
I don't have no response to Christian Zionists. I think they're the biggest, dummiest people in the world.
All right.
Hey, hey, hold up. I'm not a Christian Zionist, okay? And here's one.
Well, that's their view. You're saying that Palestinians should. You're saying that it's okay that Jesus will come on the dead bodies of other human beings. I don't understand that this kind of God is going to really agree on the murder and killing of babies and children and women. You're trying to create this era.
But didn't God do that in the Old Testament? He was for killing everybody at some times.
The Old Testament, in the Old Testament, in Hong Kong, was not allowed to be sold in regular stores.
Wow.
You know where they put it? With the pornography.
Wow.
And I'm serious. Look it up. I don't make up nothing when I tell you.
Okay.
The New Testament is the best testament. The Old Testament is about murder, mayhem, incest, killing, murder.
That's what we have today.
It's like a soap opera.
JLP is right. Jesse Lee Peterson says we have the Old Testament on earth to this day.
That's what we do. It's all mayhem. Look at the difference. There's a big difference between the New Testament, Jesus Testament.
Last word from David in Ocala. Appreciate you hanging on, David. Go ahead.
Thanks, man. Hey, listen. Okay, well, you can read what I just told you in Zechariah 14 and Deuteronomy 29. Yeah, that's the Old Testament. That says that tells you right there, Deuteronomy 29.
I want to ask him a question.
I chose you.
All right.
I chose you. I chose Israel. Y'all were small. You're not the greatest, but you're the smallest. But I still chose you, and I give you this land. Okay.
Okay.
Now, Ben Shapiro is the Jew, the Jewish person that Jesus is coming back to rescue because he does not believe that Jesus is the Messiah. And I'm sure you probably don't either, right? You don't believe that Jesus is the Messiah, right?
I believe he's coming back.
You do or do not?
Of course. Islamic. He's going to come back and fight the Antichrist. The same thing we have.
Okay.
And he's going to come back and rule over the land. And then after he brings peace and justice to the land.
I want to try to get to...
All right.
And the day of judgments will come.
Thanks for letting me state my piece there.
You gotta give us a 4-hour show.
Thank you, David. Appreciate you, man. Frederick in California is on the line. Frederick, you're live with Omar, third rail.
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah, fine. Thank you.
What's up, Frederick?
All right, Omar, I got a question for you, if you don't mind.
No problem. Go ahead, brother.
We on pretty much the same basis until you said you're voting for Trump.
No, I'm not. I'm voting for Colonel West. I just said that to make a
Alan West.
Colonel West.
Cornel West. Oh, he's voting for Cornel West, so you guys are 100% on the same page.
Look at my Twitter feed.
All right, then. All right.
Look at my Twitter feed.
These people want to believe what they want to believe.
No, it's a
but
vote.
Cornel West is not going to be on the ballot. You're going to vote for Trump.
It's cool.
Both you guys
cool.
vote for Trump.
My next question was going to be, how is Trump going to make people buy electric cars? And that was going to be like, I was like, if you think that's going to happen, that's not. But anyway,
Donald Trump is just another.
Go ahead.
Donald Trump is just another property of the Zionist entity. That's all it is.
I'll take that over Cornel West, though.
His beautiful daughter, that beautiful wasp daughter. I'm just sorry for that beautiful, that Orthodox guy is hitting it.
I think Joe Biden is calling for a ceasefire, and that's the only Zionist that's going to do that.
I don't know.
Joe Biden.
I don't think this would have happened under Trump.
What's this guy's name?
But I don't know how he would have stopped it.
What's your name, brother? What's his name?
Frederick.
Frederick, I agree with you. Maybe my politics and yours are the same thing. If we got together, we'll probably have a good day, me and you. Yes, I disagree with what's going on. The United States government is under occupation by the Zionist money and entity and Hollywood. These white people are only puppets. You know those Muppet Masters?
Beautiful wasp daughter.
Yeah. Huh?
Nothing. Go ahead.
You know what I'm talking about.
Right.
Yeah, I agree. I'm just surprised he's not going and trying to support Israel for one thing.
You know, every single person. You see how they fight? If $2 billion is for veterans, they fight. As soon as $14 billion for Israel, they all get online and say yes. Right away. No question asked.
Right away.
Go print it. Print that money. Give it to them. But they will not help the homeless. There are 40,000 homeless veterans in the United States on any given day. There are 6,000 veterans who kill themselves every year. I'll bet you they will not help them, but when it comes to money to Israel, they will get together. They will send it. They'll probably go to their own banks and get it out, give the United States a loan and get it back later. It is all...
I got to keep things moving, man. I appreciate you, Frederick.
I'm a veteran myself, Omar. We got a lot in common. And
brother,
we need
to help the veterans.
More people up in Congress that knows what's really going on. People are just now waking up, and they act like they know what's going on.
We got to be America first.
The occupations that's been going on, how long this been going on, and they're just acting like if you're pro-Palestine, you're one of them.
Power to the people, man. Power to the people.
All right, Frederick.
All right,
take care.
Take it easy.
All right. Yeah. I got a super chat, and then before I get to my favorite caller, the Key bought 5 coffees saying, Omar, do you consider a landlord an oppressor? A landlord provides its tenants with shelter, sewage, water, electricity, etc. Likewise, the Palestinians are tenants on Israel's land. When you have volatile, unruly, lawless tenants, it's time for eviction. What say you?
But the problem, he's not the landlord. He's a squatter. He took over the house. It's your house.
Not anymore, not according to international law.
No, it's your house. No, whatever's left of it, it's Hake's house. Gotta control everything that Hake does in it. You understand? Well, no electricity tonight for Hake. I'm gonna give him a doctor. No food. Did you buy all those groceries, Hake? No, you cannot have that. There's 1 banana, 1 cereal. That's good for you. No chocolate, no toilet paper, no nothing. Okay, look it up, Hake. Israeli outlaw chocolate in Gaza. Look at it. They banned it.
Chocolate, how about white chocolate?
Candy. I don't know about anything. That beautiful wasp girl, man. What a shame. Man. What a shame.
All right, Maze.
She should have a nice Christian husband, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but hey, people live their lives.
Yeah, but they're killing the genes there. Go ahead.
Yeah. Maze from the sundown town of Dayton, Ohio. You're live, Maze, with Omar, Third Rail.
Hello, Omar.
What's up, my brother? How are you?
This is Miss Maze. Ms. Maze.
Most of the callers are black, right? I noticed.
Maze is also black, I do believe.
I think all of them are black.
What I get confused is when I hear people in the Bible, they want to relive it, but it's something that was fighting and killing and destroying. And when Palestine had their land before 46, they were having their own government. They had their own everything. And then you sit somebody else on their land, and they took over, and you don't have nothing. I mean, you don't even have the right to even walk on your own property.
That's right.
And then you have people saying, like, Hezbollah. I don't think there's no Hezbollah. I don't think it's
Hezbollah.
I don't
Hezbollah is a Lebanon.
You haven't seen
that? That's a Lebanon thing, huh?
What's happening? I'm going to tell you something. If you go... Americans change when they go to the West Bank and they go visit, not under the Israeli guide, but under and they show them what goes on. You know that the Jews inside, they have their own roads. They have their own roads all together. They have their cars. And the Palestinians, some roads, they can't drive or own cars. They use donkeys to get their food and products.
I'm wondering why, since they put the people on their land, why didn't they give them protection against the people that they put there and make sure that they were going to be all right and nobody took their property away from them?
It's not
that would have been a better situation than to give them the land and then they go take it because they feel like it or they don't like that somebody's going to take over. But I have another question. Who is King David?
King Dawood, David. Yes, he was a prophet of God.
Oh, I was wondering. And then the Judeo-Christian, what is that?
I'm going to show you how mistreated that. Okay, let me show you how the old Bible. According to the old Bible, that one day that the King David was on the roof, and he saw his neighbor's wife taking a shower in a tub. Right? I'm saying the truth right now. And he had sexual relationship with her while she's married. Yeah, that's considered a sin. And she got pregnant. And then he called her husband from the war to tell he sent a letter to the general to put her husband
the front lines.
So he get killed. Yep. He invited her husband to give him a day off so he could have claim it's his baby.
Yeah.
But the husband said, I will not have sexual relationship with my wife while my people are fighting the war.
Nice.
What do? They kill him. Guess who that baby is? Solomon, right?
Was that Solomon? Or did
it's Solomon. Okay. According to the Bible, Solomon is a bastard.
Oh, yeah.
Is he? Let me give you another one. Let me give you another one. When Lot, the prophet Lot, Saddam and Gomorrah destroyed everybody, and everybody was dead. What happened? The daughters of Lot, what they do? They got their father drunk.
Yeah.
And they had sex with him. They had babies. Who those children are? They are the fathers of the Jews.
Incest.
So you guys
could you tell me about the Judeo-Christians? What are they?
What are Judeo-Christians?
There's no such thing as Judeo-Christian. They just made that up to stick to you guys. You understand? That's to hang on to you, so to be safe and use you as their vehicle to be safe. It's all made up.
I'm seeing head nodding from Hassan over here.
Yeah, they just jumped on the back of the Christians, and they created this. Oh, we're Judeo-Christian to be safe and to use you guys monetary and economically and to be safe. Let me tell you something about the
That's because they know how to be grammatically correct.
Let me tell you, if you look at the 1930s, New York City was full of ghettos of Jews who had nothing to offer. As a matter of fact, they were part of the mafia. What they did is they money rolled the civil rights movements of the blacks to create a new era in the United States.
Oh yeah, it's not good.
Once they wrote the black all the way. Once they got in, they closed the door with the white people, and they locked the blacks out. They used the blacks as a way to change all these new laws for them. They can't go on. They can't fight for civil rights because in the 1950s they couldn't go to same clubs as Gentiles. Jews, they could not go to certain places. I'm talking about the American Jews.
I gotta close this out, Omar. I appreciate it.
Omar, you need to come back so you can
help
the truth with the lie, and maybe you can open some eyes. And James, as I say, bro, and not
what?
That's what, bro. Remember that word? I'll get with that next time I call you and let you know the difference, dude.
Okay, thank you, Mace. Appreciate the call. Take care. Omar, I appreciate you, man. It's the Comforter _1 on X and _rail on YouTube. Tell the people when you're live next.
Okay, I'm alive every day at 7 o'clock.
Eastern PM?
It's 3 p.m. New York time.
Okay.
I want guys, if you want to come join the channel, join. My channel is mostly international idiots. I mean, most of them don't even speak English.
Nice.
I don't know why. But first of all, I want to appreciate Hake for having me as his guest, and I want to appreciate the people who follow his channel for you being patient with my views, even if they differ from theirs. It is good to have a conversation. It is good to be exposed to different ideas. It is good to educate yourself. I want you to educate yourself on international issues. You can't be a dummy and just say everything is America. Read about the history of the Israeli-Palestinian, and you'll see the truth.
I saw from Spoiler Alert that the Israeli claim was that large shipments of chocolate were going to be sold through front companies to finance Hamas, and that's why they banned the chocolate. That's funny, man. But anyway, I got to close it, man. Thank you for coming on. Have a great weekend.
I love you, Hake.
Thank you, man.
And I appreciate you. I really do. I appreciate you for having me and giving me a voice in your channel.
Right
I had you as a guest about 2 years ago.
I know.
And I never regret it. It's not. I didn't hide it. It was a different channel I had.
I understand.
I still have them on. Okay?
Take care,
God bless you, man. God bless the United States of America.
Right on. Guys, this has been the Hake Report. No Fallen State today. Catch American Anchor, baby, at 4 p.m. Pacific. And
I don't even know how to close this.
No worries, man. Enjoy 8 days of Hanukkah. It's the last day of Hanukkah, right? From Verona. All I Want for Christmas. Lujo Records. Adios, America. Bye.
8 days of Hanukkah. 8 days of Hanukkah. We celebrate a festival of lights. Those days in history still live for you and me. Let's keep the flame forever shining bright. 8 days of Hanukkah. 8 days of Hanukkah. We celebrate the festival.
Shout out to the Jews.
Those days in history still live for you and me. Let's keep the flame forever shining bright. When they came to dedicate the temple,
The temple.
how their hearts were heavy with despair. Purities and idols all around them, and just one jar of pure oil was there.
Obvious Globe.
But with faith
Shout out to the Flat
they
Earthers.
cleansed the temple.
Cleanse the temple.
Kindle that small lamp with hope and love. Then the story had a happy ending.
Church with Jesse Lee Peterson Sunday.
8 days of blessed light came from above.
They want to be the Flaming Lips, but they aren't.
8 days of Hanukkah, 8 days of Hanukkah, we celebrate the festival of lights. Those days in history still live for you and me. Let's keep the flame forever shining bright. 8 days of Hanukkah, 8 days of Hanukkah, we celebrate the festival of lights. Those days in history still live for you and me. Let's keep the flame forever shining bright. 8 days of Hanukkah, 8 days of Hanukkah, we celebrate the festival of lights. Those days in history still live for you.
Oh, you never talked about Aisha. I don't want to. Who wants to hear about Aisha? Aisha's too old for us. I put this at the end so that it's easily skipped. Bye. Adios, America.